Well, we're here today on a glorious November morning with Tom Chilton, the 2010 British Touring Car Championships Independence Champion, which we'll talk about in a second. But Tom, first of all, please explain why we're here at Brands Hatch.
We're here at Brands Hatch today because we're doing some winds testing, ready for next year, for 2011. And at the moment it's lunch break, you can't hear any racing cars going around. I'm just doing a photo shoot for Dig Deep, new clothing range, which is cool stuff.
And I was wondering why the hair was looking, because you've got helmet hair at the moment, and you're not in your overalls, so I was wondering, you look like a male model, which of course exactly what you are. So that explains that, and Dig Deep you have an association with, obviously.
Yeah, Dig Deep have been sponsoring us this year, and yeah, to win the British Championship this year for the independence drivers, I had to dig deep. There was no doubt about it. And
oh, I get it.
That's why they made me a Dig Deep icon.
Clever wordplay there.
It was a tough year, but it's all come good.
Now, what does independence champion mean? And just talk us through what you've had to do in order to achieve, I guess, what is the greatest achievement so far of your career?
Yeah, it is definitely the greatest thing, or the biggest championship I've ever won. Basically, the works drivers are fully paid by the manufacturer, and this year there was the Honda and the Chevrolet, and the Chevrolet also does the World Touring cars. They have huge budgets, and then we're an independent, so we have to find all the sponsorship ourselves. And we managed to get together this year with Aon and Calagas and obviously Dig Deep and a whole load of other sponsors, which actually paid for our year this year. But basically it's a lot less money than the works teams. And we have 30 races in a year. We have 10 rounds. There's 3 races at each round. So there's a lot of races where a lot of things can happen. People call the British touring cars professional nudging sometimes with some of the moves which happen, and you just need to finish the races and to win championships about getting points, and that's what I think we've done this year. Yeah.
Now tell us about the final day. And you had a bit of work to do, I believe, in order to become champion. It was here, wasn't it, at Brands Hatch? 42,000 people cheering on. I mean, it's quiet as a mouse here today, but 42,000 people cheering you on, Tom. Tell us about that day.
It was pretty special. I mean, it's hard to imagine that all these grandstands might have just got red seats in, but they had every single seat was taken, every single car park was full here at Brands Hatch, and we had a lot of competition, and I came here third in the championship, and to come away winning it all through the last race. I had this situation when I was out there. I was currently running in third at the time on the track, and if Stephen Kane, my competitor in front, got in front of Andrew Jordan in the Vauxhall, he would have beaten me by 2 points. If his teammate Matt Jackson in the BMW overtook me, I would have lost by 2 points as well. So I had to stay on his bumper to finish 2 points ahead of him, and my heart was like that literally for the whole 15 laps, right at the end when it was getting very close, and I just had to keep digging deep and do it.
So what's the long-term game plan for Tom Chilton, motor racing driver?
For me at the moment, I mean, I've been in the British Touring Cars for 9 years. I'm going to do it again next year for my 10th year. I would love to go on and do the World Touring Cars at some point. I've also raced in Le Mans cars. I've won at Nürburgring for the 1000k race in Germany, which was pretty special, and then also won out in Laguna Seca in California for the American Le Mans Championship. So I've had a dabble in other things other than the British Touring Cars, and I can drive rear-wheel drive as well. But for me at the moment, I've got a good relationship with Arena Motorsport and Ford, and I really want to try and I want to eventually end up getting them a World Touring Car Championship win. You know, that's what my goal is at the moment. I'm going to keep my head on that. And
for those who don't know much about BTCC, I mean, it's one of those. It's like sort of one of the worst kept secrets in this country, because the crowds get very big. I mean, the following that you have is, if it's not a contradiction in terms, a huge minority, if you like.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people turn up to our races, and the World Touring Cars, I guess, is just a little bit bigger. But because the racetracks are Grand Prix tracks, they're slightly bigger than here. Brands Hatch is only a mile long, actually. At the bigger circuits, there's a lot more grandstands. So on TV, it doesn't look like there are as many people at the World Touring Cars because it's such a big circuit. But a lot of people follow it all around the world. Even in the British Touring Cars, we're actually shown on TV in 33 countries. I mean, it's exciting form of racing. It's the top 10 championship in the world for motorsport, and I love being a part of it. It's great.
Now, I've been looking into you, Tom, and you are an interesting character, to say the least. I'm just going to go through a few notches on your belt here. Let's start with the perennial Top Gear question. Now, you've been accused of being the Stig. Virtually everybody, apart from me, have been accused of being the Stig. Are you indeed the Stig?
And I'm standing here in some white clothing at the moment, but I'm not the Stig, no.
Oh, damn, that's the only reason why we came to see you today.
No, I'm not the Stig, sorry. You've seen me on 7 shows, which I've done for them, and
you've done lots on that. I mean, just run through some of the things you've done, because they've all been rather peculiar, haven't they?
Yeah, I've done all sorts of things. I even rolled a double-decker bus in one of the bus races. We did airport racing. Had to roll over those really tall staircases which go up to the aeroplanes. We had people carrier racing. We had car football. We had motorhome racing, and then I've had to race an M3 and stuff. But yeah, no, it's.
And you raced Clarkson and Hammond, haven't you?
I raced Clarkson and the M3 and Hammond and all the other crazy things. But I got to say, the one which was the craziest thing I've ever done was rolling that double-decker bus. That's why I started off with it, because it's mad. I mean, you go around London and you see these big tall buses, and you go sit on the top floor and you're always a bit scared, or is this going to roll over? Well, I can tell you now, going flat out 50 miles an hour, just going left, right on the lock, I actually got the thing to drift, and we even put sandbags on the top of it, and I couldn't get it to roll over. I had to hit a high bit of earth and get hit from my friend behind to actually barrel roll it. It's quite amazing how much grip they've got.
Now, what else? You're in a music video. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I've done some. I had to be basically the stunt double for the guy Andy Gallagher, who's the musician, and they had to do this getaway scene. So they just robbed a bank, and they had like tights over their faces, and I just had to drift this thing around lots of corners to make it look like they're really pushing to get away from the police. And it was quite fun, actually. I mean, I love doing anything in a car going sideways, to be honest.
Fair enough. Now, what else? Cosmopolitan.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Brands at the beginning of last year.
Yes. No clothes, correct?
Yeah, I remember preaching that one to my mum. I was like, yeah, I've just had a phone call saying they want to use me for the celebrity naked photo shoot. And you should have heard my mum, like, no! But I said, well, it's a testicular cancer, and she was like, oh, it's good for us.
So you were absolutely stark naked with presumably something strategically placed?
Yeah, I had my racing helmet covering my crown jewels,
right.
which was nice because it was a cold day.
Yes.
Don't want to get embarrassed.
Lots of padding in your helmet.
I didn't realise Cosmopolitan's the largest women's magazine in Europe.
Yeah.
It's huge. It's a bit like Nuts Magazine's the biggest men's magazine in Europe. And
yeah.
I went down to Monaco for the Grand Prix last year, and we were staying in a hotel with Alonso. He was there at the time, and I went into the little newsagent shop, and they had the magazine in there, and I was just thinking, oh my god, anyone picks it up, they're going to see me in it.
Well, Tom, it's been lovely to meet you today. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
With your great achievement for 2010. We're looking out for you next year, obviously. Digging deep.
Yeah.
As always, and try and keep your clothes on, keep your helmet in the right place. And if you do see the Stig, let us know, hey?
I'll let you know, yeah.